I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey friend, have you been thinking about creating a freedom lifestyle by starting your own podcast? Well, lucky for you, I have created a new one-on-one podcasting program. From starting, branding, marketing, monetizing, and scaling, we cover it all. If you're interested, send me an email at hello@theoffbeatlife.com with the subject line podcast program to learn more. Again, email me at hello@theoffbeatlife.com with the subject line podcast program. I will see you there. Hey everyone, welcome back to our extended interview. I am here with Renee and Cat, where we are going to talk about how to channel your alter ego and being confident in your business and life. Hey ladies.
Hello. Hey Debbie, thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here. Before we get to your tips and tricks, can you tell us more about you both and why you live an offbeat life?
Renee, you want to go first?
Yep, I'm your girlfriend, Renee, the girlfriend you never thought you needed in your small business. I help small business owners learn and grow and get out of their own way with my online community called The Fresh Perspective, where we believe in community over competition.
And I am Cat, owner, creator, and heart and soul behind Kitty Meow Boutique, where there is no cats, but a lot of super fun stationery that makes women feel empowered and confident. You can shop based on your mood. So if you are feeling a little rude, saucy, inappropriate, there's the witty section. And if you are feeling thoughtful, charming, and sentimental, you can shop in the sweet section. And I coach other women on how to build their own paper goods businesses. And I'm just an offbeat kind of weird person in general. So I guess that's why I live an offbeat life.
You are pretty weird.
And both of these ladies are so much fun. To make sure you listen to the initial interview that we did together, because I was cracking up the entire time. So yes, definitely do that. And of course, listen to their podcast as well.
Oh yeah, and together we are ladies, the Dreams to Plans podcast.
Okay.
All right, so ladies, today we're talking about channeling your alter ego so you can become more confident in your business and life, of course. What does that mean? Can you take us through that? Because as a business owner, how do you actually do that channeling?
Well, I feel like we all have you have to be in a mood. You have to be in a almost in like a different type of vibe to be on camera, to do the hard things, to do the uncomfortable things. And if you just channel a little bit of that go-getter, that extra person that you have in you that's going to be your ride or die and confidence pushing you, then you're going to be better off and you're going to take more risks.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times, whether you are in the beginning stages of your business or you are way further on down the road, there are so many struggles. And the further along you get, the bigger the problems. You know, they say more money, more problems. And you really need to dig deep to continue to have that confidence. And if it's not something that comes naturally, it doesn't matter. You still need to have it. And you need to find ways to channel it on the days when you're feeling down and when it's not coming naturally. And for me, I always say that Kitty Meow is sort of my alter ego. I started my business when I was in my 20s, probably when I wasn't so confident in myself as a woman and as a business owner. And it's this combination of sexy with thoughtful sentiments and beautiful typography, and the words on my greeting cards, because I do a lot of greeting cards, they say what I'm thinking when I really don't give a crap what other people are thinking about me. And so often when you are channeling your alter ego, you really need to not care what you think the person next to you is thinking about you. Because I promise you, they're likely too busy wrapped up in their own thoughts, worried about what other people are thinking about them to really be over there judging you.
Yeah. I forgot the quote I heard this from, or if it's even, it's definitely not word for word. But one of the things someone I heard say that we're so often really into what other people are thinking or saying about us, but you're right. They have their own problems that they're thinking about, that they probably think about you for like a split second and then they go back to their own lives and they don't even bother. It's like we think about us, we think about our problems. I'm not going to be thinking about somebody else for like days on end, but we do that to ourselves. We do that. And it's so funny that it doesn't even matter to most people anyways.
So true.
So how do you recommend we build our confidence when we're just starting out in our business? Because it does take time to do that. Do you have any strategies that have helped you overcome a lot of the obstacles that really comes your way and then making sure that you get over that hump?
I think, Kat, you have a little bit harder time with this. Me, I just go. Like, I am 0 to 100. You tell me what to do, I do it. I've been on, I call it on, right? Like I've been on since I was 18. I mean, I was hairstylist, I did spray tanning, and I was always in, the show game. So for me, I have an on and I have an off. And so for me, when it's work time, when it's go time, I click that button on and then there's no going back. Sometimes I even black out on my freaking lives. I'm like, well, what did I say? Did I say something? Was I there? Because I'll call my husband. I'm like, was that valuable? Because I totally just blanked, because I just go, and it's my inner person that just comes out, and it's like, I can't even explain it. It's just when my girlfriend Renee is here, Renee is gone. Even though it's still me, it's just like my best self. Like who I want to be is my girlfriend Renee. She pushes me to be better. She is exactly who I strive to be. She is successful in my mind. So I show up as her every single day so that I can be my best self. Like my girlfriend Renee is the best version of Renee.
In your defense, Renee, your alter ego is still very much who you are as a person. And we're not trying to say, oh, channel a persona that's totally fake, but it really is just about feeling your best and presenting yourself in the best way possible. When I go to a trade show to try to sell my products, I am going as Kitty Meow. I'm not going as Catherine, work at home mom, probably still in sweatpants and a week's worth of dirty hair. Like, no, I'm going as this glamazon in high heels and red lipstick with sexy hair. I mean, that is very much my brand. And when I show up on an Instagram live, if it makes me feel better to look that part, that's what I'm going to do. I mean, and it's none of this is rocket science. It's literally just doing the things that make you feel good and then doing more of that because it makes you feel good.
And that's all it is. It's channeling what makes you feel the best and the most confident and the happiest. And if it's not in red lipstick with pretty hair and it's in a top knot, cool. Like whatever your vibe is, embrace that. Just because we say, we have to be something else doesn't mean you have to. It's finding what makes you feel your best.
Yeah. And also I wanted to ask you both, do you ever interject vulnerability in that, right? Because you have an alter ego, but then there's also the realities of everything. Are you also able to put in some things that are really vulnerable that maybe are happening behind the scenes that most people don't normally see, the unpolished side of it?
1,000%. I literally make fun of myself on a daily basis. Like 1,000 bajillion %, 90% of my content is making fun of myself and showing the real because it's not glamorous. And Kat cries on her lives. I mean, Kat is a total crybaby, and she.
I knew you were going to say that. Oh my gosh, you're awful.
You cried one time. You're never living it down. But it's just, we're showing that, yes, there's highs of being a business owner, 100% when the highs are there and you're winning and it's amazing. But there's also 80% lows where you're hitting, and missing and you're getting hit in the gut and you're losing and your sales are down or this and that. And it's like, you do share that because that's the real life. And 90% of the time we're working from home. We have a kid under our desk. We have fruit snack in our hair. Dogs are whining. Like cat nose Domino next door does not stop barking until we start recording. Like it's crazy. So we show all the messy and all the real, but we also show the high. And when the high is good, we show that too, because you have to celebrate it.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, Debbie, because everything about my brand is about being vulnerable while at the same time being polished. While on my Instagram feed, maybe I only post pictures of me looking super glamorous. If you get me on a live, if you're coaching with me, I mean, I am showing you the good and the bad. It's not about just being this beautiful picture on the internet. It really is about being vulnerable and having enough confidence to say, you know what? I'm not perfect. I've messed up. This is where I have failed, but this is what I've learned from these failures. And maybe you can learn from these failures of mine too. And the difference between people who are successful and the people who are not has nothing to do with failure, because the successful people fail. The difference is they get back up and they go at it again. I always say, if you are not failing in your business, you are not trying hard enough. So get out there and fail a little bit more, because you will learn from it.
Yeah. And you know what? That also makes everything so much more relatable when you're able to see both sides of it, because oftentimes we do just see the polished side of things. But then for me, my feed is photographed and it's polished, but then you go to my stories and I have no makeup, I'm in a bun, and I don't really care, because that's usually how I live every single day. But it's so nice to be able to have that alter ego that you see that's polished, but also be able to really show the realities of everything that you sometimes don't expect, right? Because you just see people succeeding. I do want to talk to you about one more thing though, is being afraid to actually show your success because you feel like you're bragging, especially in the beginning, because that was one thing I definitely had to take myself out of, coming from an Asian background where we were told not to do that. It was like a big thing. It was a mindset shift. What about the both of you? Has that ever happened to you where you're like, I don't want to really show too much because I don't want it to seem like I'm just bragging? Or even if you've stopped yourself from talking about that with, friends that are not in the industry?
That's where I think 100% community comes in, because 90% of the people that are in my community are small business. They're all small business owners and they're all, entrepreneurs. And they all are craving somebody to share their wins with, because when you're doing this life, which is new, right? So my family has no idea what I do. Not one. They all think I just play on my phone, right? My mom keeps telling me to get a job. So when you don't have somebody that gets it, it comes across as bragging, right? But when you have people that get it, it's not bragging anymore. It's conversation. So surrounding yourself with people that understand what you're saying, like when you're saying, I signed on 2 clients this week or whatever, to somebody that doesn't get it, it's bragging. But to somebody that is in the muck with you and in the trenches, like somebody like Kat and I, or you, where you call your friend, we get it. And we know how much effort and work and stress went behind getting those 2 clients, that we have to cheer you up, because we're like, yes, it's our win too. Like, yes, that's one for the good guys. And it's just, you have to surround yourself with a community or people that just get it to where it's not bragging.
Yeah, it really is so important and a super valuable point to point out, because just for example, this time last year, I was maybe in a handful of wholesale stores with my products. And I'm like, man, I need to have a mindset shift. I need to change what I'm doing if I want to make it big. And I said, okay, every time I add a new store that is carrying Kitty Meow products, I am going to do a countdown on my Instagram. So it went from 7 stores, 8 stores. And my goal was to make it to 100 by the end of the year. And I only had about 6 months that I set this goal left in the year. And I was so worried. I'm like, are people going to think that I'm braggy? Are they going to think, that it's the wrong intention? And I just told myself, you need to care less about what other people think. It's more about publicly putting it out there to hold yourself accountable, because it's so easy to break promises to ourselves. But when we feel like the rest of the world is watching us, somehow we magically hold it together a little bit better. And again, care less about what other people think. If you want more wins and positive things in your life, you need to welcome them in. You can't have that negative energy from the universe saying like, oh no, I'm not worthy of this, because then you're never going to have any success. You don't celebrate the wins, the bigs, the smalls with everybody, then I think you're just going to be in this mental roadblock and never get anywhere or where you deserve to be in your business and life.
Yeah. And also feeling guilty for succeeding is such BS. I think that's such BS. And I had to learn that, right? Because I was taught like, don't brag, be humble. But then it's also telling you, it's like, it doesn't matter if you succeed. You can't tell anybody. You can't celebrate, like you're saying, you can't celebrate your success. And I learned that, like, why can't I? Why can't I celebrate successes? That's one of the biggest parts about life and how you're living it. So yeah, I'm a big advocate of sharing when you succeed, right?
Or even Renee and I have talked about this before, but when it comes to money, this feeling of, oh, it's shameful to say that you want to make a lot of money in your business. No, no. There's nothing shameful of wanting to be successful in a monetary way, unless you are running a hobby. Then why? Why is it shameful to say that you want to make a lot of money? With money comes power and more confidence. And I don't mean power in a negative way, but a power to help other people and to make more positive impact on the world. But if we don't talk about these things, especially as women, then we are just doing the rest of the world a disservice by dimming our light, so to speak.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And this is such a valuable thing to learn for ourselves when we are in the trenches, because there's so much that we go through that when we finally succeed, we should be shouting it out in the world. Like, we go through so much. Honestly, being an entrepreneur, it's like one of the hardest things that you can do. And when you finally succeed, you should have the freaking right to celebrate however you want.
Yes. And the people who are not happy for you, unfortunately, they're kind of just projecting their own insecurities on you. And you need to remember that sometimes it has nothing to do with you, that it has to do with somebody else. And that's not any reason for you to not be shouting from the mountaintops all of the hard work that you've been doing that's been paying off.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So glad I was able to talk to you about this, ladies, because I feel like everyone needs to hear that. Well, thank you so much, Kat and Renee, for being here with us. I am so appreciative of everything that you just shared with us. If our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
Oh, they can find us together on the Dreams to Plans podcast at Dreams to Plans Podcast on Instagram and dreamstoplanspodcast.com. And then you can find me, Kat, at Kitty Meow Boutique. And Renee, where can they find you?
At my girlfriend, Renee, aka your girlfriend, Renee, on everything.
I love it. Thank you so much, ladies. I really appreciate everything you shared with us.
Thank you, Debbie. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having us.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Kat and Renee. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview where they share how they have helped creatives build remote businesses. Hey friend, are you looking to land a remote gig ASAP? Well, did you know that we not only have a ton of online jobs you can apply to on our site, but now we are also sending them straight to your inbox. I'm happy to announce that we will be sending our email subscribers legit online jobs every Wednesday. We have done hours of research so you don't have to. If you want to be the first one to hear about the remote gigs we find, go to theoffbeatlife.com to subscribe. Thanks for joining me on this extended interview. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. We can also chat some more on Facebook at The OB Life. I'll talk to you soon.